Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, I want to talk about Matria. How do we say? I can't remember. I watched their video. I know they say different to me. I apologize. Once the name's with me, it's with me. I suck. But I wanted to take a look at it. There's a few things I want to look at. One thing being where she's being used in the Cursed Realm at the moment. I want to have a talk about the potential viability behind her having only one copy of her, which I think a lot of people would get single copy viability. Now, whether she slots into priority, somewhere before getting Solace all the way to the Awakened or something like that, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I'm not willing to make that call. I just wanted to talk about the viability of a single copy of her for a lot of people, especially when we look at like Cursed Realm and stuff like that. And also, we're going to jump in at the start here and jump into the arena trials and just give you guys some more thoughts around her and the ways I think she can be used. Still early days. We will do some pulls later on today when it drops on Global, on Kiasma as well. This is on the test server. We'll get into it. So let's jump into the trials here. Now, I mentioned this in my previous video that some dude here has done it at 700. That is a massive effort in my opinion. I can't wait to see this. This unlocks in 3 days. So when that unlocks, I will definitely let you guys see those results because I'm definitely keen to see them myself. I do think that in general, she's going to be a unit that's really good in just meta teams as a tech pick. The way she gives a team just an entire Hypergene bonus. Obviously, you got to be careful for Celestials and Dimensionals, but in general, she gives you just another massive bonus to your team, and she offers a secondary win condition. That's when she's fully built. When she's not fully built, she still does offer you that additional bonus, plus the other little benefits along the way. So let's jump into it here and take a look. So I'm trying to use the non-top tier teams at the moment to demonstrate her. So this one we're using like Tassie Pippa, Raku combo. So the not like hasn't. I don't think this has been full meta for like 6 months to a year, so probably even longer. But in general, I think she pairs really well with like Raku and Kren are two units that I think she's going to work well with. I don't have a perfect example of this. We are at 620 levels on the enemies, which is kind of decent in this. So what my idea was here is, one, with Raku and Kren, two units that really appreciate the extra speed. So the fact that we get an additional Hypergene bonus on top, I really wish they would display this somehow to show us that she's in the team, so she's giving us the Hypergene bonus. But getting that extra haste is going to be really solid for them. Obviously, crit rate, crit damage is going to be nice, the energy recovery, but it's really that haste as well on top, but just really solid buffs. So I feel like with these two, Raku and Kren, they benefit from that a lot. And the thing I love about her is with Raku and Kren, they're two units that I feel like when they work really well, but often they'll just die too short and you won't be able to get the win. So I feel like she offers not only a bit of a turbocharging to their playstyles, but she also offers a secondary win condition where if, like Raku or Kren get the enemy team really, really low, but then die, she can just come back with her rebirth, use an ult, and wipe the rest of the team. That's why I see it. Also, I still can't figure it out. Sometimes she comes back and she nukes entire teams when everyone else is dead, and then sometimes she just does wet noodle damage. So not too sure, but let's take a look at this one. We'll jump into this one. This one doesn't work the way I planned it, but it was a victory, so I wanted to show you guys. So basically, Raku actually dies early. So this one just demonstrates how her, with some control, can make her do some massive damage if she just gets the time to punch through a few ults. So as you can see, like, Raku, Mishka dead early. We're just going on a chain with Pippa and Tassie, and she is barely surviving, but she's surviving nonetheless. And she just does some pretty solid damage with those flames spreading, and then she ults and then just claps the team. Really quite impressive. So like I said, that wasn't exactly what I had planned to do in that one, but it still gave her a win, and I thought that was quite interesting in this deficit, looking at her basically just 3v5 because the other two died instantly. You can see 0 damage from him, 287k from her. Like, that was like nothing. So that was pretty solid. I was quite impressed with her just raw non-dying damage capabilities. And I thought that was quite nice. Now, I don't know whether it's to do with the units not hitting, like, I don't know if units that don't get below 15%, whether they don't trigger her thing and don't give her the buffs. Like, if they go from 16% to dead, maybe they don't give her buffs on her thing. I don't know exactly how it works, but in that one, like, you can see she was dealing insane amounts of damage. So that is that one. So the next one I'll look at, this is using a Raku team. Now, this is a pretty stacked Raku team. I was just kind of struggling with this one. So, you know, we did chuck the Mortis and Awakened Brutus in, but, you know, Raku, Fane, best friends, they work really well together. And, you know, let's just jump into this one. And now, didn't quite work exactly like I thought as well, but, you know, as we do more tests, hopefully we can get some perfect situations in which it works the way I want it to. But in general here, you know, we want to do the juggling, and she's really there as the secondary win condition in this team. Once again, same as Raku, you want Kren to be doing the work, and he is doing the work. We've obviously got the Awakened Brutus who died super early, so Kren just putting in lots of work, and while she is surviving, she's still contributing to all that damage that we're dealing. So whether she's alive or dead, it doesn't really matter. And this one's the perfect example of Kren team. Sorry, just Kren team. I always say the wrong name, but like just failing with the Kren team. So as you can see here, we're gonna get the ult, kills Kren, and then we've got Mortis trying to do it. Mortis dies. Oh no, wait. Yeah, okay, they both died at the same time. She came back. But like I said, she was there as that secondary win condition, so if it all went to shit, she could still do well. But once again, this just shows that she does have really, this is a fully built one, really solid damage capacity. Obviously, Kren's not the highest damage dealer. He's more about the juggling and then just keep the damage coming. But it's still quite decent damage considering she was dead for a period of that game. I just think it's really solid, and maybe it's that we don't have her. When I originally looked at her, I was like, okay, let's just let her die, let everyone get low, let her come back, and then nuke. But I think trying to keep her on the field in these type of teams, Kren and Raku specifically, once again, these are the first two that came to mind. There's a lot more we can look at, but because those are also control-based teams, it allows her to live and allows her to spread that damage and keep the damage coming, which just adds fuel to the fire. And like I said, provides a secondary win condition. If she dies, then everyone else dies. Well, then she can come back and she can do the nuke. So I thought it was pretty interesting. That's what I'm leaning towards with her. I'll definitely do some more testing on Kiasma as well, but I just wanted to let you guys know some thoughts that I'm looking at. Now I want to talk about the idea of a single copy of her. So I think for a lot of people, a single copy of her in the Cursed Realm could actually be quite nice. When we look at the Cursed Realm, you're not really doing nothing's dying, so she's not getting those buffs. It's just all about the fire, spreading the fire and getting that damage. And I just wanted to jump in here. Let's look in the Cursed Realm and look at the leaderboards and see she is getting some usage over here in this comp here. Now, if we look at this one, it depends if she dies or doesn't die, is essentially what it is. So you see this guy, she hasn't done a crazy amount of damage because she does die. And keep in mind, this team, they're using her with a Celestial and a Dimensional. So we're not even getting the extra benefits. But the reason I think a lot of players could get use out of a single copy of her is because when we look at Cursed Realm using a lot of teams, and when you don't have every hero built, a single copy of her, bringing her with, 4 other normal faction heroes or another Hope Jean if you want, it's giving you that extra bonus on top of it as well. So it's giving you that extra bonus to turbocharge the team you have. And considering a lot of people don't have every unit built, if you're in that boat, a single copy of her gives you like a buff to that unit that you do have built. And if she dies, she can still come back and stuff like that. So I think a single copy might be very useful. I wouldn't say I'd put her in a priority above a Solus or something like that at the moment, but we'll have to do more testing. Maybe I'll pick up a single copy of her on my account and we'll do some playing. Not too sure what I want to do there. We'll see how we go. The problem with the trial version is you can't just trial a single copy. You got to trial the whole thing. But maybe I'll just wait until I randomly get lucky and someone through normal summons in 10 years time. We'll see how we go. But like I said, in this team here, she's being used there. And then if we go to the next one, I think it was, you can see her damage is a lot higher because obviously she didn't die. And then if we go into this one, we go over here. Once again, she's doing some impressive damage. Now, we'll just watch a replay. They said this is just a grouping team. Now, the grouping team works for her because she, once again, is another one of these units with a narrow range AoE. And obviously, with a narrow range AoE, if you got the units grouped, it's going to be much more effective. So really quite solid in that sense, and that's why she's sort of working in this team, I'd say, and that's why the top players on the test server at least have got here. It's always interesting because sometimes the players on the global server, that there's more heads over there, so maybe they come up with something different. But in general, like, this was pretty solid, and we can go to 4 times speed. Obviously, what am I doing? And we can see that she doesn't die. She might die at the very end of this one. I can't remember. But yeah, in those replays where she didn't do as much damage, she wasn't dying. So keep in mind, she's still doing this type of performance. I'm curious to see her in bosses as well, if she becomes something in any of the bosses. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe. We'll wait and see. I'm not going to make a call of that yet. But you can see there, she dies there, but quite impressive damage that she can deal without dying. So I feel like the dying is like and coming back is like a secondary part of her kit, and you can see she comes back, it's a little bit of extra damage there. But the dying and coming back is like the secondary part, and yes, she can get massive stat increases, but the thing is she can also get the stat increases when she's alive on the board, and it just increases the damage that she can deal. So, that's just... I'm just kind of rambling, but I just wanted to give you guys some extra thoughts. Like I said, we'll be back later with some summons today, tonight, probably in 10 hours or so on Kiasma. We'll see how we go. But thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.